Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. In the headlines, petroleum product marketers say the challenge of fuel scarcity will end in days. Nigerian government denies reports on establishment of foreign military bases in the country. Herders' attacks leave Enugu community desolate. Israel shut down Al Jazeera Jerusalem offices. Details in a moment. Petrol supply challenges facing the country have entered the third week, with marketers optimistic that the situation will soon come to end following the release of more volumes by NNPC Limited. The length of queues at some of the filling stations open to motorists in Abuja has reduced significantly, although the situation in Lagos remains unchanged. Speaking on the latest situation, the Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chief Chinedu Ukadike, said it will take a few more days for supply to normalize. Chief Ukadike said independent marketers who had not received any product for weeks were now beginning to load, especially at the coastal depot in Calabar, Port Harcourt, and Warri. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has reduced the electricity tariff of customers on Band A from 225 naira per kilowatt to 206 naira per kilowatt with effect from May 6, 2024. This was confirmed in a statement released on Monday by the head of corporate communications, Ikeja Electric PLC, Mr. Kingsley Okotie. The Electricity Commission had on April 3rd raised the electricity costs for Band A users from 68 naira to 225 naira per kilowatt hour, claiming that other customers were unaffected by the increase. Consumers affected by the increase have been lamenting that the increase in energy bills is putting a strain on their budgets, urging the federal government to rethink the policy. The Senate Committee on Power for investigating the tariff hike was last Monday told by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, that the country will experience a total blackout within the next 3 months if the electricity tariff was not implemented. Telecommunications companies have expressed concern over possible connectivity disruptions as construction advances on the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway corridor serves as a crucial landing point for multiple submarine cables connecting Nigeria to Europe. The telcos stressed the necessity of stakeholders' consultations with the Ministry of Works to address potential risks and implement robust mitigation measures. The Federal Executive Council approved Phase 1 of the ambitious 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project in February, entrusting the task to High-Tech Construction Company Limited. The highway project was designed to connect Lagos to Cross River, passing through the coastal states of Ogun, Ondo, Delta, Edo, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom before culminating in Cross River. The Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Blessing Agbebaku, on Monday announced the suspension of 3 members of the House over an alleged plot to impeach him and other principal officers. The 3 lawmakers who were suspended during plenary are 2 members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and 1 member of the All Progressives Congress, APC. He alleged that the 3 suspended members were being influenced by external forces to cause chaos and remove the leadership of the House. The Speaker also alleged that some persons brought native doctors into the House at midnight on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, to make some demonic incantations and dropped charms in the Assembly complex. The suspension of the lawmakers, however, created tension at the House as the affected lawmakers kicked against their suspension, leading to a rowdy session and forcing the Speaker to adjourn plenary abruptly. Nimbo, a sleepy community in Uzowani local government area of Enugu State, is experiencing a situation it could not have thought possible. The hospitable community is completely deserted as herders whom it once saw as passing friendly grazers have burnt down houses and food items and killing 4 community members. In this special report, Signature Television brings the account of a traumatized community. We are at Ugujuru in Nimbo, a community in Uzowani local government area. Deserted homes, empty farmlands is actually what greeted us when we arrived in Ugujuru, where armed herdsmen attacked Nimbo community in Uzowani local government area. It is a tale of devastation, anger, anguish. The story is unbelievable. At this very spot was where the funeral ceremony was being held. Canopies were actually mounted around this area when these armed herdsmen came through from that spot, from that zone, and attacked them. This spot was where one of them died. If you could see, there's still some blood stains right on this spot.
While I was returning, I heard houses were shooting in the village. I didn't know what to do. I asked what happened. They told me Fulanis have killed my husband and my grandson. I was running and heard sound of gun. I returned back to inquire what happened. I went to the uncompleted building and behold, I found my father and my son shot dead.
This spot was where the village head of Igujuru was killed. He ran away from his house and came in right here to hide, only for the armed herdsman to come right here and shot at him, and he died right here.
I was sitting right here, that is my room. And all of a sudden, as I just entered the room because I wanted to dress up and go out, I had 3 gunshots right beside my house there. I opened the curtain and I saw these 3 Fulani herdsmen right by that side. That is where they stood and shot the gun that way. And the whole people that was sitting on this canopy scattered. Myself, I ran back towards my neighbor's place. I was following that man because I'm a stranger here. I don't know where to run to. So I was running alongside with him. When we ran down towards that very house there and hid ourselves, not even knowing that that same place we were hidden, where the road they were passing to go back again. It was while they were going back, I now saw that there were 3 of them. It was 2 of them. I stood by the corner of the, by the wall of that house. There's an uncompleted building there. While the other man stood here with that his small grandchild on the hand, and I was holding one other smaller girl. That was when these people arrived, 2 of them by this side, and they shot. The comment I hadn't made that time, you don't die today. All I was shouting was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They now released that gunshot too that killed this man and his grandchild.
We are dying due to hunger. The armed Fulani people, numbering 3, came shooting sporadically. My husband ran out into the farm for safety. One of the herdsmen ran after him while shooting. He eventually fell in the open field and died there. By then, I had already run off for safety.
Around 4 or 5, then the Fulanis surrendered our area. And when he was trying to run away, he was shot. They killed him from Hudson. Herdsman killed him through gun. And he's now in the mortuary, he's dead. I don't know what to do. Very serious pain. I'm very, very serious in pain right now.
The people of Obagu in Ogo, local government area of Enugu State, have petitioned Governor Peter Mba and the Inspector General of Police for what they described as persistent harassment, persecution, and unlawful arrest of its indigents by the police. Protesting against the alleged intimidation, the villagers carried placards with inscriptions such as "Stop the police brutality," "Stop the harassment of our people," chanting slogans and demanding an end to the unjust treatment by the police. The President General of the community, Callistus Ojobu, lamented that the police, who are supposed to protect the lives and properties of citizens, have taken sides in a land dispute and gone ahead to unleash terror on law-abiding citizens. The President General called for a thorough investigation into the actions of the police officers involved and urged the government to ensure that justice is served. He emphasized that the community will not stand for such injustice and will continue to fight for their rights through peaceful means. Nigerian government says it has no plans for foreign military bases in the country. Experts speak on the implications. That's after the break. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State has protested to his Lagos State counterpart, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, over the reported repatriation of youths believed to be indigenes of Osun State to their state of origin, allegedly by Lagos State government authorities. Several luxury buses were reportedly seen dropping off hundreds of youths at various points of Ilesha area of Lagos of the state at the weekend, after allegedly being rounded up in several parts of Lagos State. A statement signed by the spokesperson to Governor Adeleke, Malam Olawale Rashid, on Monday said his principal has consequently interfaced with Governor Sanwo-Olu over the development, urging the Lagos State government to look into the matter and put an end to the incident. The report indicated that the youths were systematically dropped at Ilesha Akure Express Junction, Breweries, Ilesha Obodi, Igenla to Ife Express Junction, Osun Ankara Express Junction, Imelu Express Junction and Iperindo Express Junction. In his interaction with the Lagos State Governor on the incident, Governor Adeleke expressed shock at the development, urging Governor Sanwo-Olu to look into the matter and put an end to it if the report is true, the statement said. The Nigerian government said on Monday that it was not contemplating allowing any foreign nation to establish a military base in the country. The federal government was reacting to media reports that it was offering some unarmed, unnamed Western powers to establish military bases in Nigeria. In a statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the federal government said it was not in any discussion with any foreign country and has not received any such requests for such a base. Advising the public to ignore any such stories, the federal government said it already enjoys collaboration of some foreign countries in the fight against insurgency. But what could be the implication of the establishment of military bases in Nigeria by any foreign interest? We spoke with an expert in foreign relations, Dr. Nechi Mbeze of the Department of Political Science, Enugu State University of Science and Technology.
It is something we call a disingenuous return to the old. We shouldn't be talking about that now. We should be talking about how we can, establish our presence in the sub-region, how we can establish our presence in Africa, how we can provide a lead to govern Africa in terms of economy and even militarily. We are not talking about losing our independence to another nation at this point in time in 21st century. That is an aberration. Look, it's an aberration. It's a failure of the state if that happens. And I believe we are just talking about it, not that it's going to happen. If by chance we are talking about a military base in Nigeria, the implication for other African countries, if Nigeria fails, others will now become a paperweight. They have all disintegrated. If by chance Nigeria says we are now allowing this, what about the other smaller nations? What are they going to do? Who now provides the shield for them? Where will they run to? Of course, it's going to cause panic, it's going to disintegrate West Africa, and it's going to be a disservice to African society. All and all without exception, because Nigeria is the leading power in Africa.
You are watching Signature TV News. South Africa's coastal city of Durban is facing a severe water crisis ahead of national elections, with residents suffering from prolonged dry taps and poor sanitation services. The shortages, which some communities have endured for months, have been blamed on mismanagement and alleged corruption by the ruling African National Congress (ANC) party that runs KwaZulu-Natal province, where Durban is located. In the northern suburbs, people have relied on water donations organized by community groups like Voice of Phoenix. A community leader, Vasi Govenda, described the situation as slow deaths, adding that elderly residents have died from illnesses caused by having to carry heavy water buckets. The crisis has taken a financial toll too, with households having to buy drinking water daily. The ANC has been accused of failing to address Durban's crumbling infrastructure, and analysts say the party could lose its majority in KwaZulu-Natal in the May 29 elections due to widespread dissatisfaction over service delivery. Durban's woes have been compounded by severe flooding that has damaged infrastructure. The water crisis highlights South Africa's struggle to provide basic services more than 30 years after the end of apartheid. Britain's King Charles III on Monday marked the first anniversary of the coronation following a difficult year that has seen a cancer diagnosis and continuing tensions with his estranged son, Prince Harry. Gun salutes were fired in central London and at other locations across the UK to mark the occasion, even though there were no official events coming less than a week after King Charles resumed public duties since his diagnosis. The 75-year-old monarch, who has not disclosed the type of cancer he has, was also reportedly keen to mark the day with minimal fuss, giving the link between his coronation and the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, who crowned King Charles a year ago at the Westminster Abbey, praised his sense of duty. He said the past year has presented the king with some great personal challenges, but said he has been struck by his continued sense of duty, having recently returned to royal engagements following treatments. Israeli authorities raided a Jerusalem hotel room used by Al Jazeera as its office after the government decided to shut down the Qatari-owned TV station's local operations on Sunday. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet shut down the network for as long as the war in Gaza continues, saying it threatened national security. Al Jazeera said the move was a criminal action, and the accusation that the network threatened Israeli security was a dangerous and ridiculous lie that put its journalists at risk. Israeli satellite and cable television providers suspended Al Jazeera broadcasts following the government decision. The UN Human Rights Office also criticized the closure. Meanwhile, columns of smoke rose from the explosion in Rafah on Monday, May 6th, as Israel's military carried out airstrikes hours after Israel told Palestinians to evacuate parts of the southern Gaza city. Israel has been threatening to launch incursion in Rafah, where more than 1 million people uprooted by the war are said to be sheltering. Israel says Rafah harbors thousands of Hamas fighters and potentially dozens of hostages. The Palestinian group Hamas said in a statement on Monday that any operation in Rafah will not be a picnic for Israeli forces and that it is fully prepared to defend Palestinians. A raid by Hamas on Israel on October 7 triggered the war, in which 1,200 people were killed and 252 hostages taken, according to Israeli tellies. More than 34,700 Palestinians have been killed and more than 78,000 have been wounded in Israel's assault, according to Gaza's health ministry. Ukrainian drone attacks on 2 buses taking people to work are reported to have killed 6 people and injured another 35 in Belgorod region of Russia. Governor of the region, Vyacheslav Gladkov, said the attack took place near the village of Berezovak. Gladkov said 1 man was in serious condition and 2 children had superficial injuries. Belgorod region, which borders Ukraine, has been repeatedly attacked by Ukrainian artillery, drones and proxies over the past year. Russia have sent thousands of troops to Ukraine in 2022. Kyiv denies targeting civilians and says it has the right to strike Russia, which says the West ignores Ukrainian attacks on civilians. Nigeria's under-17 football team faces age cheat challenges. That's in our sports stories after this break. The head coach of Nigeria's under-17 football team, the Golden Eaglets, Manu Garba, has confirmed that several players in the team failed the magnetic resonance imaging test (MRI) during the team's camp ahead of the WAFU B under-17 championship in Ghana. The genuine under-17 players, according to their official documents made available to the NFF, and the MRI tests conducted by the football body, are still in the camp preparing for the WAFU B under-17 tournament. Garba said the sincere football academies had to withdraw their players when the camp opened last month after the MRI tests they conducted showed that their players were in grade 5. Those who were not sincere, he said, thought they could find a way through one way or the other, but have been exposed after the NFF conducted its own MRI a few days ago. The Golden Eaglets, who are 5-time world champions and current title holders of WAFU B under-17 championship, begin the defense of their title on the 16th of May against Burkina Faso. Thanks for joining us on Signature TV News. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.